Hello, everybody. Welcome to another Dhamma meeting where we will discuss the Buddhist practices of charity, morality, and meditation. Everyone who's interested is welcome to join. We shall start with our first participant, which is Leon. Hi, Leon. Where are you from?
Hello, good evening, Tan Ajahn. I'm currently based in Singapore, but I'm originally from Malaysia.
Yes, can I help you?
Yes, Tan Ajahn, I have a situation that I'd like to ask for some advice. When we live in Singapore, I currently have a young daughter who's turning 6 soon, and we've moved homes. And in the current home, she actually told her school teachers that there are some beings, and she communicated with these beings, and so we asked her whether and she told us that it's actually she's seen like two families, one friendly and one that is very quiet, and I mean, we went. It's we've asked her many questions, and it's I don't think it's her imagination. When we went back to KL, we brought her to see a monk, and I think he sort of um asked her more questions, like are there like two adults and two child in that family that she saw, and things like that, just to sort of verify. And it seems very in line with what she told us. So I don't really know what to do in this instance. One of my friend advised what I can do is to do dana and transfer the merits to the beings around us. So
There's nothing you have to do or can do, really. You just watch what's going on. If she doesn't do anything bad, and then it's okay. If she wants to see things, that's her business.
I'm just worried that at some point it affects her.
The
Yeah.
problem is you, not her. You're worried. She's not.
Ah,
So you should fix yourself, not to worry, because what you're experiencing is anicca, dukkha, anatta.
okay. And that is it. So I shouldn't project onto her what I worry about her.
That's
Um,
right. Just
but
just look at her, treat her just normal. Maybe she can see something, that's all. She might have some special gift, so you don't have to do anything. Just make
should,
sure that she doesn't do anything wrong or bad, that's all. Just
should I tell her not to talk, like just be very clear of the different
if you can tell her this is something that is personal, she shouldn't talk to anybody except to you or to somebody that knows her well. If you speak to a friend or people, they can become confused and wondering what's happening to her.
okay. Okay.
Okay, there's nothing wrong with seeing things. I think what's wrong is telling people about it, because people don't see what you see, and they start to wonder whether you're seeing the real thing or not.
Yeah.
So this can happen among practitioners, but we know how to deal with this situation. We keep them to ourselves. We should only talk with those people who can see the same thing.
Okay. Okay. Okay.
All right, there's nothing to worry about, really. Just
Okay.
continue on treating her just like a normal child.
All right.
Maybe she have a special gift that, maybe maybe she can utilize it for her benefit later on.
Okay.
Who knows?
Okay. Okay. Thank you very much, Tanajan.
Okay.
Thank you.
All right,
Thank
you're
you.
welcome. Next, Marco from the Netherlands.
Hi, Tanajan.
Reading to you today.
Greetings. I would like to report my homework to you, if I may.
Sure, go ahead.
Last week, a lot of walking meditation. Today, second day of 8 precepts. Last week, I did 3 days of 8 precepts. Was going fairly well. Did find that my ego still has an issue when I know I'm following a certain pattern, when I know that I'm doing the right thing, when I know I'm following the precepts. There was a situation where I had a discussion with my wife where I was diverting from the truth again, just because I was imagining what she was thinking about me, and I was convinced that I was doing the right thing. I'm noticing that that still is a big issue, that I don't let go entirely, that my ego is still too big. I'm asking your guidance in that as well. So we did talk it out, and we did reconcile about that, and I did give in to that one, that I was wrong, that my perception was wrong. But I've always had this feeling that I need to defend myself or get appreciation from external, which is difficult for me to deal with or let go. So I'm asking you for guidance as to how to really diminish that ego.
Well, first of all, you shouldn't have this obsession of trying to get rid of your ego, because it's not something easy to do. But what you can do is tame your ego by the practice of humility and not expecting anything from anybody. And take things as they come. Be thankful for what you get. Be happy with what you have. This is the way to reduce your ego. You cannot go attack your ego because you don't know where it is, but you can attack the action of your ego.
Yeah.
Change your action from being egotistic to become selfless. Do things for other people, for instance, helping other people, serving other people. Charity, humility.
Yeah.
And also morality. If you should do anything, even if your ego is doing, as long as it is morally correct, then it's okay.
Yeah, that's what we discussed as well. So as long as you're following the precepts and you're following the truth, the Dhamma will protect you. There's no need to protect the ego separately.
Yeah.
Still, that nagging feeling comes back of the past situations, and I noticed that one day I have more problems with that than the other day. And what my remedy is, or at least what I try to do, is just try to watch my breath and go to the moment now. How am I feeling now? Am I doing the right thing now? What action that I'm taking now, is it skillful or unskillful? And I'm noticing that helps. But I don't think I can easily switch off what has happened in the past. I think that's very difficult.
No, the past is already gone. You cannot go back into the past. But you can use the past as a teacher, as a lesson, not for you to repeat the same mistakes.
And how do I try not to get too demotivated by the past? How do I try to not look up too much to what has been there? It's like this iceberg that feels like it's
bring your
behind
mind
me.
back into the present by reciting the mantra Bhutto Bhutto.
Okay.
You don't have mantra, so the mind becomes free to roam about the past and the future. But once you start to reciting Bhutto Bhutto, it cannot go to the past or to the future. So you have to stop a break to your thoughts. And Bhutto is a good breaking system for your mind.
Yeah.
Or if you can concentrate on focus on what you do, this can also bring your mind back into the present. If you're walking, just merely walking, don't think about other things while you walk, or eat or sleep, or do anything. Just focus on what you do. Keep your mind in the present. But once you lack mindfulness, then your mind will slip into the past, slip into the future.
Yeah. I noticed that it happens often when I drive. That's the moment that the mind kind of gets, specifically when it's busy on the road. Yeah.
You have to focus on your driving.
Yeah. Yeah. And then it feels like it's at the same time.
You can use mantra to help you. Focus on what you do and also use mantra. And this will almost can stop your mind from running away.
Thank you,
But
Ajahn.
it takes time because it's not your habit to recite the mantra. Your habit is to let your mind drift into the past or into the future, hardly staying in the present. Our mind don't like the present. We stay in the present just briefly enough to know what's going on, what we do, and then we start to drift into the past or drift into the future. So mindfulness is the key to bring your mind back, to be stable and not to roam about, not to run around.
Thank you, Ajahn.
Okay.
And another thing, last week during meditation, I had a very good meditation session, and I felt at a certain point that the breath was leaving. It was gone, and I didn't perceive it anymore, and it felt like something was pulling me on the head or something. It was like going away, and that it went away, and I was very sad that it went away. But I read in the book from Luangta Babua that's fear of death. That's what's holding me back. Is that the case? That I get too startled that the breath is away? Is that holding me back?
Well, generally people will think when there's no breathing, you must die, right? So maybe some people will have fear when there's no breath to watch. But he said that not to worry, because the breath has become so subtle that sometimes it might not be observable anymore. But it also means that the mind is nearly getting close to abandoning the body, separate from the body. So you shouldn't react in any way to the situation, but just continuing to focus on the same point where you used to focus, even though when there's no breath there anymore. Just keep focusing at the same point. Then sooner or later your mind will then be separate from the body. The breath and the body will disappear from your awareness temporarily, and you'll be in peace and happiness. So don't worry, just keep focusing, just like as you do when you started, from the time you start. Keep focusing on your breath at the same point, at the tip of your nose or above your nostril, or below your nostril, on your upper lip. Just stay there, even if there's no breath to be observed. Just still continue observing, not doing anything. Don't think, don't react, don't anything. Just merely watching. And whatever happens, you'll experience it. Normally, the mind will drop into calm, and it might feel like you're having your last breath before that happened. But that's okay. It's just an experience. Then the mind will become quiet, still, peaceful, and happy.
I noticed that the day after, when I was meditating, I think I was too greedy, that I wanted the same feeling again, and then it didn't work at all, and I could not even get the rest that I felt before.
Yes, you must not want anything when you meditate. Just focus on your meditation object only.
Yeah.
Okay.
Thank you,
That
Ajahn.
clear to you?
Yes, absolutely. Thank you. And this is good. And another thing is, I'm thinking about donating blood, and I understood that that's also a good merit for me.
Yes, blood is also essential substance for people who are sick, who need blood transfusion. So it's a good dana. It's very valuable resource.
That will help me to give more, and to do more for other people instead of myself.
That's right. Or some other organs, if you can, like have your kidney, for instance, you want to donate it to someone you love. If they should happen to need another kidney, if they don't have it, they will die. And sometimes you give one of your kidneys. This is a good merit. It's because you're saving life. life is more precious than money, right? There is no cost, no value that you can put on life. But you cannot do it after you die. There are people making a will that when I die, I give my body to charity. It's not when you die, you don't know that you are doing that or not, because when you die, you don't know. So if you want to do charity, you have to do it when you're still alive, because you're the one who received the merit, which is the feeling of happiness. But when you die, you don't know
And
what
it's
happened
gone.
to your body. So you're not giving anything after you die.
Thank you, Ajahn.
Okay, anything else?
Well, one of the things that I was realizing in my quest to really see the body for what it is, one of the things that hit me was like, I'm listening a lot about the chitta, and the chitta does not have a gender. The body has a gender, and it's true that the body craves another body, right? That's one of the things that
No,
that
it's the
brings
mind. It's the mind that craves for the other body, another body. The body
not the body
has
itself.
the body itself has no feeling, no thought, no nothing. It doesn't know anything. It's like a camera, like a phone. It's the user who have the craving for. And the
So
chitta have different preferences. Your chitta you like woman, another chitta might like a man instead. It's not the
okay.
body.
So it's based on the chitta, and that remains, and whatever the preference of that chitta is, that's what it will steer the body towards.
That's right. If your chitta, if your mind prefer woman, you generally will get a man body. But occasionally, sometimes something might go wrong, and instead of getting a man body, you might get a woman body. But
But
you
it's
might,
based on the preference of the chitta either way.
But the chitta still like to have a woman. But now you have a woman body, so what you do? You cannot change your preference, and you cannot change your body.
Yeah, it's I'm trying to. So indeed, it's the chitta itself, and then the kilesas will lead you towards the sensual pleasures again, and they try to do it in very sneaky ways. I do keep trying to combat them. When I worry too much about that I'm not strong enough to defend against the kilesas, I try to go back to the present moment and see what I'm thinking at this point in time. But I'm worried that I'm not seeing that it's a kilesa speaking at the point in time. So is it the right approach to say, like, well, before you do any action, ask yourself, is it skillful, yes or no? And that goes even with saying things. So whenever I'm talking, first think about what you're trying to say and on what the feeling is based, so that you don't let the kilesas win. Is that how do I take that worry away? That I let my kilesas win. I'm afraid that I will let them win. I don't want them to don't want it to win again.
Well, basically, just stick to the basic things in life, and anything more than that can be considered to be defilement.
Okay.
Just live simply. If you want 2 cars, that's kilesa. If you only want 1 car, then it's still essential, then it's not kilesa. Just use the kind of criteria whether it is essential or not, the things that you want to have, or the things that you want to do. You have to do this or not. If you don't, you will die, or it will hurt your existence or not. If it does hurt your existence, then you might have to do it or have it. But if it doesn't hurt your existence, then why have it? Why bother? Like drinking, does it hurt you or not if you don't drink? No. It doesn't
It will
hurt
be
you to
difficult.
drink. Yeah.
Correct.
Or
this is one of the
watching entertainment on television. Do you have to watch it or not in order to survive? No, you don't.
No,
Right?
not at all. That's what I'm
Okay.
realizing.
So when you're watching, it's your defilement already.
Exactly. That's why we really cut down. I'm not watching any TV anymore. I used to watch soccer. I don't watch it anymore, and I like that feeling. I like the feeling of not having it, and I'm noticing that I'm way more calm now, way less pressure from the outside. But I'm also hoping that for our son, it's a good example. So like, you don't really need this. It doesn't add value. It's a distraction, nothing more than that. And that's what I wanna keep doing, and that's why I noticed that the practice is really helping me out, and I'm feeling better because of it. So that's what I try to keep and apply to everything I do. I know that my biggest issue is the interaction with other people, and that's what I need to be more professional and stable about. And that's going better as well. I'm realizing now that it's better to think before you act.
You ask yourself whether it is essential or not.
Yeah, exactly.
This can tame a lot of your defilement, a lot of your greed and your craving.
Absolutely. Thank you, Tanaja.
Okay. All right. If you want to tame your defilement, keep the 8 precept. The 8 precept is there to tame your
Just
defilement.
yeah, exactly. Maybe I should just keep following 8 precepts forever. It's good,
Yeah,
better.
keep it forever, and you'll be safe. You'll be safe from your defilement a lot.
Thank you, Tanaja.
Okay, you're welcome. Next, Samanji from Sri Lanka. How are you? Any question tonight?
Yeah, I understand. I have some questions. Can I go ahead?
Can you speak louder, please? Your voice
I
is
have
not.
a few questions. Can you hear me now?
Okay, good.
Yeah.
Can you?
Now, firstly, I'll start with I have a question related to my meditation, Tanaja. When I meditate for a very brief time, maybe for 10 minutes or so, most of the times, I feel as if my mind is free from my body when I meditate for a very brief period. But this feeling doesn't last long. The more I meditate, the less frequently it occurs, that the feeling that the body is free from my mind. But on certain days, I experience this feeling even just a few minutes into the meditation. But I wonder why it doesn't happen more often.
Well, this feeling are still delusional. They're not real. So just don't worry about them. You haven't yet reached the point where you consider to be successful in your meditation, which is the mind become completely calm.
Yeah, okay.
So don't worry about it. Just sometimes your mind just creating this feeling.
Okay. This happens only for a few minutes or few seconds, actually.
And just
So I have
focus on your
Yeah.
meditation object
Okay.
and invite all the feelings that might arise.
But the more I meditate, the less frequently it occurs, that feeling that the body is separate from the mind. So I should not yearn for that feeling, no? I
Right.
should
It's not real. It's just imagination.
It's kind of okay. So I have to keep on doing. I have to keep on doing my meditation for a longer period, Tanaja. But
Long or
sometimes
short, it depends on your mindfulness. If you have strong mindfulness, you can enter into jhana very quickly. And once you're in there, you can remain there for a long time. But if you don't have mindfulness, you'll be sitting and struggling with your thoughts and your feelings. And so you feel quite uneasy. So you might want to meditate for long.
Yeah, actually, it's very difficult to control my thoughts also. Maybe
That's right.
early in the morning when I meditate early in the morning, it's easier
is-
to control my feelings than maybe thoughts,
Yeah, we should
endless
practice.
thoughts.
We should
Yeah.
practice more mindfulness during the day or so, not just when you meditate. Try to control your thought as much as possible
Throughout the day.
throughout the
Tanaja,
day.
no?
Yes.
Okay.
From the time you get up to the time you go to sleep.
Okay. I do that as well, Tanaja, but I think still my mindfulness is weak. I don't have been doing it for a while.
Okay.
And my next question is, what's the best Buddhist method we should practice to overcome ego?
What? Repeat your question again.
What's the best Buddhist method we should practice to overcome ego, our ego, self?
Practice humility. Be humble.
For example,
Well, can you wash other people's feet or not, for instance?
okay. Anybody's feet, though.
Yes,
Alright.
anybody. The poor one goes to the prison and wash the body of prison, and the feet of the prisoners. It's an act of humility. This is the way to reduce your ego. Your ego wants people to wash your feet for you. So you have to do the reverse thing that your ego wants. Is to go wash wash other people's feet. Giving also is a form of reducing your
Clearly.
ego. Doing things for other people more than doing things for yourself. If you have a choice of going on a holiday or go and work in a hospital as a volunteer, you go to work as a volunteer. This is reduce your ego. Try to do as less as possible for yourself, things for yourself. Replace it by doing it for other people instead. See, the Buddha have devised this method of charity is to reduce your ego, also reduce your attachment to material things.
Okay. Material objects and wealth and all. Okay, then, Ajahn. Okay, my next question is, how does one realize that he or she is an arhat? Or that he or she has got rid of all defilements? How does he know? How does he feel when he has achieved that status?
Yes, it's like when you have when you have a meal and you feel full and you cannot eat anymore. It's the same feeling. When you become an arhat, you don't want anything anymore. No more cravings for anything. No craving for sensual pleasure, no
Pleasures.
craving for being, no craving for not being. You feel fully contented, contentment.
Without having anything.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay, Ajahn. I have 3 more questions. Can I go ahead?
Just go ahead.
Yeah.
No worry.
Now, I have a couple of situations like how should a Buddhist respond in these situations? Situation 1 is when a Buddhist notices a neighbor or a relative neglecting their own children. I mean, relatives or neighbors' children.
Anything what? Can you
Yeah.
repeat the question?
When a Buddhist notices a neighbor or relative neglecting their child's care and safety, should a Buddhist intervene to advise the parent or remain silent?
It depends on whether you can intervene or not. If you can intervene, do so. If you cannot, or when you intervene, you make things worse, then you shouldn't do it.
Okay.
You have to look at the result of your intervention, whether you can make things better or worse.
Okay. If we can intervene and if we think that it will make good results, then we better intervene. No,
That's right. Whenever everybody becomes happy from your action, then that's good action. But when you have hard feelings afterward, creating hard feelings among people, then maybe it's not. Maybe not better not to do it.
And Ajahn, in a situation like this, if my advice does some good to the child, but if it irritates the mother, in such a scenario, what should I do?
Well, is it your business to advise the child or not in the first place?
No, the child is too small. It's a mother mother should take care of the child. But if that particular mother is neglecting child safety and care, so in such a situation, should I intervene and advise the mother?
Like I say, whether she will be happy to listen to your advice or not.
I don't think she's ready to listen to my advice. but the child will suffer as a result of her unwillingness to listen to my or any other elder's advice. So, what should...
That's their business. It's not your business.
It's not okay. Okay. Similarly, Thanaja, if we witness someone attempting to kill a serpent that has entered their garden, should we intervene and stop them if possible?
Maybe you can help the person out of doing it, then do it. If you cannot, then there's nothing you can do.
And Thanajan, I also want to know, some young children speak about their very young ones, toddlers, they speak about their past lives, although not all do. How do they get that ability? They talk about their past lives when they are very small in this birth.
See, the body is small, but the mind is not small. The mind has many years of experiences. So the mind can know something, even though the body is still a child.
But not all
Not
have
always.
that, yeah.
You just have to listen and then just don't decide to believe or to disbelieve. Just listen, and then see if what the child talks can be proven or not. Then you can believe that or disbelieve. If it cannot be truly proven, then it is not true. But otherwise, you just have to listen and just to observe. That's all.
Okay. And Thanaja, now a common issue career women face is gender-based discrimination, particularly in positions traditionally seen as male-dominated ones. How should a Buddhist woman handle such a situation? Should she take action or simply accept it like just as changing weather?
Yeah, if she wants to have no stress, then just accepting as they are.
Okay, is it okay if she takes action? If she takes action regarding that, maybe writing to the management or regarding the career issues she has at work?
She can do anything she wants, but she will have to accept the consequence of her action. That's all.
Okay. And Asthanajan, my last question is to what extent, I mean, can we change to what extent can we change our past karma? Can we completely stop our past karma, the bad consequences of our past karma through engaging in good deeds, maybe in present?
You cannot stop the consequence of your past karma, but you can stop the karma that you are doing now in the present.
By engaging in more good karma in this life, can we
You can
stop
do good karma to the point where your mind can become unaffected by the consequence of your bad karma, of your past karma. Like when you become an arahant, then your mind will not be disturbed when the consequence of your past karma strike you. You can take it very calmly, like the venerable, what's his name? The Buddha's left-hand disciple. The other one, the one who has the special gift. I cannot remember. Sariputta and the other. Moggallana. I think Moggallana got killed, I think. But he said that he can use his special power to protect his life, but he still could not stop the onslaught of the consequence of the bad karma. The only way to stop the onslaught of this bad karma is to let it happen. So he let it. I think he let whoever it was kill him. Then the karma will be over. But his mind is not affected because he accepted death long before he became an arahant already. once you become a Sotapanna, you can accept that without any fear or any anxiety.
Ajahn, that's all for today. Thank you.
Okay, thank you for your question. I hope you keep sending them in. See
Sure
you
will
next
do.
week.
Yeah.
Okay,
Ajahn.
I'm here to answer your question. Okay, next, Livan from California, Marin County.
Hi, Ajahn. I don't have a question, but I want to thank Sui and Czech for sending me the Dhamma books last week. And I started reading the book. It's really helpful. So just want to say that. Yeah.
Okay, happy to hear that the books are useful.
Thank you. Yeah, I just started reading Beyond Birth 2 days ago, and it's really good. Thank you for sharing your story.
Okay, you're welcome. I'll go to Coxing now from Singapore.
Greeting, Prajan. No questions at the moment. Thank you, Prajan.
Okay. How about outsourcing from Malaysia?
Good evening, Tanajan. I have no questions.
No
Happy
question either.
listening.
How about Ronnie? Ronnie from England, I think. Rohini, I'm sorry.
Good evening, Ajahn.
Yes. What can I help you?
Yeah, I haven't got any questions, but I just like to tell that my practice is good some days and not so good other days.
It depends on your mindfulness. If you have
Yes.
mindfulness, it will be good. If you're not mindful, then it will not be good.
Especially one day, I don't normally set up alarm, so I just realized it went well over an hour, and during that sitting, the breath became very subtle, and it's good feeling on that day, but I couldn't. That is only just one occasion, and after that. I couldn't sit more than 40 minutes or something. Actually, I gave up because of, not on that day, another day. So because too many thoughts. And that's how some days it's okay, some days it's not good.
Yeah, you can look at it as a anicca.
And just want to know, that when the mindfulness is well established, there is only breath. And no one is regulating it. And well, it happened on its own accord. And is this the reason why we were told not to control the breath? Or like count? Some people do counting, some people do fast breathing, and it's just saying not to do that because of the breath need to it happen on its own accord. Is that the reason? Or
Well, the reason is to reduce the mental action as much as possible. So if you have to count, then you're making the mind working. So it will be harder for the mind to become still. Except only if you use the mantra. This doesn't seem to prevent the mind from becoming still or watching the breath. But counting, you have to use your thought more.
So mind becomes still, or we can have we can gain samadhi
by merely
just
watching.
without controlling it.
You don't want to control anything. When you're controlling, then your mind is working again. It's the mind that's controlling. You want the mind to give up everything, to stop doing anything, to stop controlling, to become still by merely watching or knowing.
Yeah. Okay, Ajahn, I just keep practicing and yeah.
Yes.
Okay, that's all for now.
Okay.
Yeah, and can I ask one thing? So one more thing. when the breath stops, that means, of course, at the time of the death, when the breath stops, and the five vinyana, the five consciousness, does it, which attached to the five sense organ, does it get disconnect the moment the breath stops?
Yes, because then the body cannot transmit anything to the mind. So your connector become disconnected from the body.
So the both happen at the same almost same time, maybe.
I think like turning off the light, for instance, it happens instantaneously. When you switch the light off, the light went off right away. The light go off right away.
Okay, Ajahn, thank you. Thank you.
Okay.
Okay, thank you.
Who is this? Oh, from California.
Hello, Tanajan. Good to see you. I was wondering, there are times we have to speak or correct people and sometimes speak sternly to people. How can we make sure that it's not out of anger, but instead just out of needing to correct something?
Well, first of all, you have to know whether you are in the position to do this or not. When you want to correct someone, are you in the position to do it? If it's not your position, then don't do it. Whether you're angry or not angry doesn't matter.
If we are in the position,
Then you have to watch whether you're speaking out of emotion or out of rationality.
so we just pay attention to the feeling that
That's right. If you're emotionally, then you should not say anything yet. Calm your mind down to until you become normal before you say anything. Because if you say with emotion, the message tends to be lost, and what appears will be the emotion. And people like to receive the emotional end of other people. So you have to know whether you're angry or not. You are lustful or not. You're greedy or not when you say something. Do you say it out of greed or hate or anger or not? If you don't have enough mindfulness, you won't be able to see this in your mind. So then you just have to use whether you should be speaking or not speaking. If it's not your time to speak, not your place to say anything, then you should just be quiet.
Okay. I had another question about meditation. The other day, I was keeping the 8 precepts and my meditation was good and I had a good experience. And the days following, I sort of recollect that experience and my thoughts go to wondering what it was and trying to remember it over and over again. How can I work with that?
You should just forget the past and stick to the present. Bring your mind back to the present by focusing on your body, actions, reciting the mantra,
Okay.
Unless you want to learn something from the past and how make it useful for you, then you can think of the past. I did something like this and this is what happened to it. Maybe if I want the same thing, I should do the same thing again today, now. And then I should get the same thing if I do if I do the same thing that I did before. But just to yearn for the result without doing the cause, then it will not be useful because you won't get result from just yearning for it, hungering for it. You have to do the work itself to get the result.
And one more question. When you enter jhana, does it feel or does it appear the same each time? Like are the signs the same each time, or is it slightly different each time you enter jhana?
It can be different. Sometimes you enter deep, sometimes you don't enter as deep. Sometimes your mind can be calm, but you still can hear things, can feel the body. Sometimes you go deep inside and you don't feel or hear anything.
Okay.
But this is something you cannot control. It just comes depending on the strength of your mindfulness. So just use mindfulness, practice mindfulness, and then whatever the result, just accept it for what it is. It just means sometimes your mindfulness is not as strong as the other time, but the result can be different.
Okay, I understand. Thank you, Ajahn.
You're welcome. Next, Alvin from Malaysia.
Namaskar, Ajahn. I don't have any question. Just pay respect in listening. Thank you.
Okay. Dr. Jen Gensong from Penang.
Hi, Ajahn. Good evening. No question, Ajahn.
Okay. Dr. Diana from Wales.
Greetings, Ajahn. Thank you. Just listening. Very interested in the don't speak when you're emotional, and I'll be working on that one.
Okay. Good.
Thank you.
All right. You're welcome. Next, Marsha from Ohio.
Good morning. Today I am just listening. I traveled, I've been traveling and sort of lost my momentum in the practice, but still just trying to watch and still working on keeping the focus at the nose tip. And I can identify with some of the other questions today where you get an experience and you want to have a repeat, or you're looking for a similar thing to happen. And so I'm just trying to work with that and not have any expectation.
Yes, you just have to do the work, and the result will come after the work that you put in.
Yes. Another monk had mentioned that you have to have confidence in the practice. And I try to remind myself of that if I have the confidence in the practice, and I know from practicing over and over and over that the benefit comes, it comes in its own time and it comes in its own way, that my job is just to practice and leave everything else blank.
That's right. Because sometimes the result can come unexpectedly when you don't expect it.
Yes, yes, that does happen.
It usually happens.
It was funny. I think Marco said that when he's driving, his mind goes out of control. And for me, it's the exact opposite. If I'm like driving on the highway, I can get the great peace. Usually I'm just like moving, moving.
You just focus on your driving.
Yes, I need to do that too. Thank you. But yeah, no questions today.
Okay, good to see you. Next.
Good to be here.
Next, Philip from Malaysia.
Hi, good evening, Tanjan. I don't have any questions. I just this week is just I have a very bad lower back pain, so I can't sit too long. But fortunately, there are 4 postures of meditation. I know I still can continue doing meditation without that pain, but it doesn't bother anyway. Yeah.
Yes, because when you meditate, it's the mind that doing the meditation, not the body.
Yeah, I mean, I've been fortunate that throughout all these years, there's not a lot of body pain or irritation or anything like that. But I'm not too sure what happened. It could have been, I sat too long or did something. But yeah. So anyway, it doesn't bother me. There are 4 postures to do. I can do my walking, I can do my standing. I did. Instead of my sitting this morning, I did some standing meditation, just to straighten the back. So
Yeah, good. Or lying down if you don't go to sleep. But
the right side, yeah, right side. Yeah.
But that's the last option, because it's easy for you to fall asleep when you're meditating on the lying position.
Yes. Yeah.
But if you're sick and you cannot get up, stand or walk or sit, then you just have to meditate while you're lying down.
Yes. But it does for this particular pain or whatever, doing the side meditation, lying down, right? It actually helps the lower back for some reason. I mean, not sleeping down like a dead person. I mean, I think that when you fall asleep quite fast.
That's right.
Yeah.
If you lie on your side, you're more mindful than you're lying on your back.
Yes, and there's a difference. I mean, I tried. The prerequisite, I think, is on your right side. I mean, I tried the left side. Yeah, I can see why the Buddha recommended. I mean, not to crush your heart. I can understand now why. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a bit difficult on the left side. I can
That's
understand
right.
why. Yeah.
Right. Yeah. Because it doesn't disturb the heart.
Yes.
You don't put pressure on the heart when you lie on the right side.
Yes. Okay.
They call this the lion posture, lying
Yes.
on the right side.
Yeah.
You sleep like a lion. You don't sleep like a dead person. If you lie on your back, then we call this a dead man's position.
So I mean, I think you'll probably go away. I mean, I don't even concentrate on it or whatever it is. I mean, once in a while, I mean, if there is no mindfulness, then you can feel the pain again. But I mean, it's just there. I mean,
Yeah. Just ignore it if you can, or if you cannot ignore it, just don't react to it. Just leave it alone.
I think it could be maybe because it's been raining for the last couple of days, and the weather has changed, cooler. It could have been something like that. Yeah.
Okay.
Okay. Thank you,
Thank
Dhananjay.
you. Okay. Next, Nita and Saket from California. From the Bay Area, right?
Yes, Dhamma.
Santa Clara. Yeah. What can I help you?
Ajahn, I had two questions.
Please go ahead.
So one is around equanimity. Actually, we don't usually use this word in English language. Can you share? Is it like a kind of contentment, or what is the way to be equanimous?
Yes, it's contentment and the lack of any emotional reaction, such as love, hate, fear, or delusion. This is equanimity. You can only get this when you meditate and enter into jhana, the fourth jhana. So you have to meditate using anapanasati, mindfulness of breathing. And just keep focused watching your breath until the mind becomes gradually calmer and calmer, and eventually fully calm, fully become still. Then you have equanimity. and peace and happiness and contentment. Once you can get to that point, you will have less cravings for things. But you still have them because it hasn't yet been destroyed by meditation. You need wisdom to be able to get rid of all of your cravings, your defilement. But the meditation will suppress it temporarily.
Thank you, Ajahn. Another question I had is sometimes we meet monastics from different traditions. And I was wondering, is it a good idea to learn meditation from them or to make offerings and spend time and such? Or is it important to only meet monastics of our own tradition?
Well, it depends on the situation. If you're forced to meet people, then you should be kind to them, be friendly to them, whoever they are, regardless of their religion or whatever. If you have to come involved with people, regardless of their nationality or religion, you just have to be kind and nice to them. And whether you want to learn from them or not, it depends on what they have to teach you. If what they have to teach you, you find it useful for you, it can help get rid of your suffering, get rid of your sadness, then you can learn from them. But if it doesn't help you, or it can create more confusion for you, then maybe you shouldn't learn from them that way. It depends on whether you can be, it is useful for you to learn from them or not.
Thank you.
Okay, but we should never despise or hate anybody. We should always respect other people's belief or teaching, even though if we don't believe in it, we don't have to show disrespect. We just show humility. Okay, Nita, you have any questions?
Yes, Ajahn. I had a couple of questions. Actually, on the question of equanimity itself, I was reading about the stages which lead to jhana, and then there is vitaka, vichara, and then piti comes, and then sukha.
Yes.
But I was trying to understand what is the meaning of vitaka and what is vichara.
Vitaka and vichara means you still do some thinking about your breath. Once, and when you meditate, you have to know that you are breathing in, breathing out. This is vitaka, vichara. Watching your breath, knowing your breath is vitaka. Knowing whether it comes in or out is vichara. It's mental action.
So is it a good state to have that vicharas, the thoughts?
It is something you need to do when you meditate. That's all you want to think about, just your breath, nothing else. And then it will eventually disappear as the mind becomes calmer and calmer. And vitaka, vichara will disappear, piti will disappear, and you have sukha, and then sukha will disappear, and eventually you get equanimity in the fourth jhana. When the mind becomes completely still and everything disappears, the mind becomes blank or empty, but empty with equanimity, with peace and contentment.
Long way to go.
It's not really. It's right on the tip of your nose. You just run away from the tip of your nose. So if you stick with the tip of your nose, you're close there. You're very close to it already. Like Ajahn Chah once said, if you can breathe, you can meditate. But you don't want to meditate. You want to go watch YouTube. You want to go drink coffee and have cakes or candies. So you are far away from that. But actually it's very near you. It's at the tip of your nose. Come back to the tip of your nose. Wash your breath. Right? That's
Yes,
what we're
Ajahn.
supposed to do, right? Meditation is to watch the tip of your nose. Watch the breath at the tip of your nose. And don't do anything else. But we like the other way. We like to do other things. We don't like to watch the breath at the tip of the nose. So it seems far away from us. Because we run away from it. Okay, come back to your breath.
I will keep practicing, Ajahn.
Okay, you're welcome.
I have
Anything?
one more question. So when we do our daily chanting, there is about Dhamma we read, it's beautiful in the beginning, beautiful in the middle, beautiful in the end. And I wanted to understand what does it mean and how should I reflect on it?
Oh, it's like Dhamma is a path that you walk on. When you start walking, this is the beginning. You walk halfway, this is the middle. And eventually when you reach the destination Nibbana, this is the final destination. This is the final step. So they are all beautiful from start to finish. Like jogging, doing jogging, from the first step that you start running, you feel energized. And you keep running, you keep jogging until you reach the finish line. And you feel joyful and happy from achieving that. Well, it's the same way with the practice of Dhamma. You should feel joyful or happy from the start to the finish line. It brings you peace and happiness, the result of Dhamma practice. Okay, so that's what it means, really.
Thank you, Ajahn.
You're welcome. Next, Nining from Indonesia.
Good evening, Ajahn. Ajahn, there is a monastery benefactor come to me and ask for my advice. Her son is addicted to drug. She asked me how to deal with her son in a Dhamma way.
Put the son in the temple, live in the monastery, away from the drugs.
Oh, so because her son is still walking, he has a plastic fabric. So her mother asked me, is her son can be cured from the addiction?
First, the son has to have the will to want to be cured first. If he has no will to be cured, then there's nothing you can do for him. So he has to have the will, the desire to be cured. Once he have that, then he has to accept the cure that he has to go through. There's a famous temple in Thailand which is known for helping drug addicts getting over their addiction. And they have some special courses that the person has to go through. Some taking some herbal medicine or so. And with the practice of Buddhist practices of charity, morality, and meditation.
Oh, what is the name of the temple, Ajahn?
Wat Yannasangwararam.
Oh,
Wat Yannasangwararam.
what? Where is
TAMKRABOK. Wat Yannasangwararam.
Where is that?
It's near Bangkok, about maybe 150 miles north of Bangkok, I think. You can search in the internet in the name of the.
Oh, I see.
They have a website in which you can see what they do. Usually lots of foreigners go there. They have their treatment.
Yeah. Her mother,
You might have to take a 2-week course or a 1-month course or something.
Oh,
Yeah. The person and the dick has to be away from the bad surrounding, not be close to the drugs, and have to live in a surrounding where there are no drugs, and there are some other activity to keep him busy, and he eventually will be able to kick the habit. Okay, search the internet for, see if you can send it to her, and maybe if she likes, maybe she can bring her son to this temple.
And since her mother is very rich and her hobby is building the monastery and also supporting all the monastery activities, for example, meditation and all the activities in monastery who need her help. She also asked me, is there anything that I can do from myself that I can make condition for my son become good person?
You can convince him to go take the treatment. If she can convince him, that's the best thing that she can do for her son right now.
Oh, I see. So
But
there is hope.
But she cannot do anything for him. He has to be the one who has to go through the treatment.
Mm. And then Ajahn, I read your words that if you can accept the aging, sickness, and death, you can accept anything. So the meaning is very deep, I think, because we can accept anything in this life if we can accept this aging, sickness, and
yes,
death.
what can be worse than aging, sickness, and death? You can lose all your money and you're still alive. You can also work and get new money if you lose all your money, right? But if you lose your life, you cannot get anything, do anything anymore. So if you can accept that, I mean, you don't worry about having anything. You can live with anything or without anything.
Okay. Okay, thank you, Ajahn.
You're welcome. Next, Mike from Singapore.
Hi, good evening, Ajahn.
How are you?
Hi, good. Long time no see.
What can I do for you?
So I've been trying to practice what you have taught by anchoring to a mantra when I wake up and try to do a bit of meditation at night. Then hopefully I can get into calm. Then after emerging from calm, I can start to contemplate on anicca, dukkha, anatta, on all conditioned things. Yeah, but been working, so it's quite tough as compared to like going meditation full time. Yeah, so
Yes,
not much effort.
You should do on your day off. Then you can do more during your day off when you don't have to work.
Okay, I'll do that.
You can consider your day off to be the day you go to your meditation retreat, whether you're at home or wherever you go. Consider this is meditation retreat for you on your day off. Do nothing but meditate and mindfulness.
Okay, I'll try that, Ajahn. Thank you.
And keep the 8 precepts.
Okay.
Good.
Thank you.
Yeah, just be patient, just keep doing it, and slowly the result will come up gradually. You'll feel calmer, you feel more mindful as you advance, as you proceed. Okay? But you have to do the work. Just don't wish for the result without working. All right? Okay, you turn off your mind. Next, Lynn from Indonesia.
Good evening, Tanajan.
What can I do for you?
Yeah, just have a question. So if someone has attained arahantship, does he or she still need to meditate?
If you're well, do you need to take medicine or not? You don't take medicine once if your illness has been treated, right?
Yeah.
So the same way with Arahant, they don't meditate as medicine, but they might meditate as a pleasure, as a way of having pleasure for them. But they don't need to meditate if they don't. Doesn't make much difference whether they meditate or not, because the problem has been already taken care of by meditation, which is the suffering or the stress created by the cravings. But one can still meditate when whenever it's free. I want to rest the mind, because the mind, even of an arahant, it can also get tired when it has to work, have to think and have to talk and have to teach people. After a while, you want to still the mind, to rest the mind, like resting the body. But not for the purpose of healing the mind, not for the purpose of getting rid of any suffering from the mind, because there's no suffering to get rid of. It's all gone. Okay.
Okay. Thank you very much. Thank you, Ajahn.
Is that all?
Yeah, that's it for today.
Okay, next. Sri and Czech from Vancouver. Did you hear the person who gave you thanks for sending the books?
Yes.
Yes, Tanajan.
I thought you might come in late and you didn't know that. And I think it's Levan from California.
Yes.
Yes. Yes.
Good.
Yeah, we are happy that the books get there.
Okay. What can I do for you? Now you can become our regular participant again now, huh?
Yeah, we tried to join last week, but we couldn't. There are too many people. Yeah.
Okay, any question?
Just trying to improve the mindfulness, sati.
Yes, watching
Yeah.
what you do. You do everything. You do things every day, from the time you get up to the time you go to sleep. So why can't you do it with mindfulness?
Yeah. Tanajan, in Satipatthana, like the Buddha mentioned that like when we contemplate the body as a body, right? Ardent, fully mindful, and aware, then having put away like covetousness and grief for the world, that means we still have to, I mean, it's kind of like living independently, like living out from this sensual world. Is that what he meant?
He meant that your mind is not affected by what's going on in the world, whether there's famine or there's war, or there's flooding or anything. It's just this is a part of the reality that one accept, one understand this is the nature of the world. Anicca, anatta.
Oh. So meaning like we develop this mindfulness, like, but then
Yeah,
let our mind not affected by all these things.
Yeah, you won't worry about taxes going up or interest rate going down or stock market crash or anything like that, because you can live without them.
Oh, but we stay mindful. Is that what he
That's
meant?
that's part of the work. Mindful is just one part of the work. The other is wisdom. You have to see the world as anicca, dukkha, anatta. So you don't rely yourself on the world anymore. You don't rely yourself on the four Dhamma, worldly Dhamma, such as wealth, status, praises, and and sensual pleasure. You can live without them, and it won't bother you whether they are here or not, whether they go up or whether they go down. It doesn't matter because you can be happy with your own meditation practice. Okay, so practice mindfulness first to get to jhana. Then once you have jhana, then you can teach the mind, the wisdom, the three characteristics, nature of the world, so that you can then cut off all your craving, your covetousness for the world, the four worldly Dhamma. You would have no cravings for wealth, for status, for praises, or for sensual pleasures. So when you no longer rely on them as your source of happiness, then it doesn't matter what happens to them, right? Because you have your own source of happiness. It's like if you have your own personal generator, you don't have to rely on the company generator, the electrical company for electricity. If you have your own solar cell, you can produce your own electricity. So it doesn't matter if the rate goes up or down. It doesn't bother you. You have your own power. You can generate your own power now. Same way with the happiness. Now you have to rely on the worldly Dhamma for your happiness. You have to rely on money, on your status, on praises from people. You have to rely on sensual pleasure to keep you happy. But once you can meditate with mindfulness and wisdom, then you see that they are all suffering, dukkha. So you don't want to have anything to do with them, because you can be happy without them. Because the reason that you're not happy is because of your cravings, and your craving is from your delusion, not knowing that the world cannot satisfy what you crave for, and your craving is the one that causes you to have unhappiness. So stop craving. Stop craving for anything in the world, because nothing in the world can satisfy you anyway. And besides not satisfying you, can causing you more stress. So when you see this with wisdom, see dukkha, anicca, dukkha, anatta, seeing craving as the problem, then you stop all these things. When you have no craving left, then the mind remains peaceful and calm forever, contented forever. Okay. So where are you now on this path?
The Satipatthana, every time when I see Buddha say, like, establish mindfulness in front of you, then I stop right there. So I know it's still there.
And no jhana yet, no jhana.
If I got jhana, I say I'll call you. I'll send an email to Buddha. Let him know. But I think that, like, one main thing is to develop interest too, right? To develop interest in practicing, like in.
Oh yes, you first of all have to be interested, or else you won't be in this room. But just how much interest you want to have, that's all. That's the problem.
Yeah, that's the problem. The mind may be like,
now you have the interest in listening to Dhamma talk, but no interest in the practice yet.
yeah, or breath. Like when I want to stick to my breath, maybe the mind is not interested in doing that. After a while,
That's right. You're more interested in making money.
Yeah, that's how I realized, like, it could be the interest, because
you need money to survive, so you spend more interest on working to have money to feed your body.
Yes. That's why we have to teach ourselves.
So you have to be frugal and work less. You require less money, so you would have more time to meditate.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
What about you? What about you, check anything?
No, no. Just listening to, yeah.
Okay, good. I'll go to doctor now. Two doctors, Indira and Pia from Toronto.
Good morning.
Good morning, Ajahn from Toronto. And we also want to thank Czech and Sui. They sent us the
Set of books.
Dhamma set of
Lots of books.
Yes.
Whole
So,
big package.
so lots of merit to them for Dhamma Dana.
Okay. Anumodana. Satu.
And also, we are practicing what we learned from you. And it's been helping a lot because even in normal life, I've realized that I used to always get annoyed at things, react, but it's getting so much less. So I just want to say thank you
Yeah.
again. Yeah.
We had a 1-day retreat. Actually, it was 2-day, but we could attend to the morning session. It was good at our temple in Mississauga. We have few temples in Toronto. So
Yes.
it was.
You should make it a habit to have at least once a week
Yes.
a retreat, 1-day retreat.
Yeah. Yes.
Yes.
Which is today in Buddhism we have what we call observance day, which is today in Thailand. Once a week you have observance day, in which you're supposed to go to temples, listen to Dhamma talk, and practice Dhamma practices.
Yeah, practicing at home is good, but when you are in a time slot you practice, then you extend the practice. I think it's say 45 minutes to 1 hour. I think that makes it's much better. Like you have more time to spread it out rather than just rush it through the day.
Well,
Because
you can adjust according to the situation.
Yeah.
Ancient time you have to go to the monastery or temple, but now you can make your house a monastery and practice at home. You can listen to Dhamma talk online, or so you can meditate or have your retreat anywhere, as long as the place you practice is quiet and not disturbing your mind.
and as you get free food at the end of the day.
No, we offered, actually me and my friends, we offered dana to 60 of the participants and 2 of the monks.
Yes.
So it was really nice. Tanajan.
Yes. You might have to go to temples if you don't know how to meditate, how to practice yet. So you
Yeah.
have to go and listen to monks or ask them questions.
Questions, yes.
But once you
We
know
do.
what to do, you know to do
Yeah.
dana, you know how to keep the precept, you know how
Yes.
to practice mindfulness, then there's no need to go to, except you want a good quiet place, and maybe a monastery might be a much better place for that.
Yes, yes. And sometimes there are monks that visit, so then we go to listen to the Dhamma talks, because as like there are 3 ways of getting the wisdom, right? Suttamaya is by listening, contemplation by Chintamaya, wisdom, and then Bhavanamaya. So sometimes listening to good monks, you learn, Dhamma, so which is also good from time to time.
Yes, because there are many perspectives of Dhamma.
Yes.
Yes.
And different monks have different perspective of showing the Dhamma to us.
Yes. So you can fine tune yourself. Like you think you might doing the right thing, but that's where I'm doing wrong. So sometimes you can just check yourself,
That's right. But sometimes it can also be confusing.
Yeah.
It may
Yes.
become contradictory. So you have to be
But once you
careful.
have a formula, you can go through the same formula over and over again. You know it's working. You don't have to change anymore because you know that steps will get to. I have a question about Chitta Ekagrata. I know it's a part of the jhana factors, Priti, Sukha, Ekagrata, and Upekha. So Ekagrata doesn't mean that everything comes together, like the breath,
Yes.
the body, and the pleasant sensation all in one.
It becomes singular, merely knowing. Before it has feelings, thoughts, and everything still working. But when you fully concentrated, then the thought, feelings disappear, and all that is left just a knowing.
Yeah.
Right. So that time the Vitakka Vichara is all gone.
Yeah, Vitakka is thinking. See? Vitakka Vichara
Yes,
is thinking.
it's gone.
And happiness is feeling. Everything is gone. All you have left is empty. emptiness, or equanimity,
Yeah, I think that
contentment.
yeah,
Contentment
it's
is
like a
not
steady
feeling.
flame. I think it's
Contentment is not feeling.
yeah.
It's
Yeah. So I think is that the metaphor for John, I think the Jayati is like burning a steady flame. So the mind is very steady. It's not like a flame which is flickering. It's just steady, one thing.
still becomes still.
Yeah.
Become merely knowing. All the Dhamma khandas temporarily stop functioning. Vijnana, Vedana, Sanya, Sankhara.
So you just know at that time you're no doer. Doer is switched off.
You don't do anything, you just
watching.
be immersed in the pleasure of contentment.
So even Upekha does have pleasure, like a certain degree of pleasure, because the more you stay there, the more it's peaceful, but still it's there's a pleasure, certain amount of pleasure, not the pleasure of
It's contentment.
sukha, like a accelerated.
It's contentment. Equanimity is contentment.
Contentment.
You don't feel you need anything. You're completely full in yourself.
So after a full meal, you're done. You don't need any.
Yeah.
People giving you food say no.
No thanks. No more.
Thoughts coming and saying, do this, do that. No, I don't need it. This is happy. This is good.
Yes, this is contentment of satisfaction.
Yeah.
But it's still temporarily. This contentment is still temporary.
Sure. Yeah.
You want to make it permanent by practice vipassana.
Yes. And see the
getting rid of all the cravings that causing the discontent. Yeah. So when there's no craving, then discontent will disappear. All you have left is contentment.
So that's where the etang santang etang pranitang. This is peaceful. This is the bliss. That's where the final contentment.
That's right. This is permanent.
Okay. And there's no more craving, no more sankharas.
No more birth, no more rebirth.
Sankhara. So one question I had, I think it's a comment mostly, like somebody you're trying to advise someone. I mean, I think there's some guidelines. I guess Buddha said in I think Abhirajakumar Sutra. It's just like about the right speech. So it has to be true. Whatever you're trying to say something, do something, or advise someone. If it's true, yes, then next thing is beneficial. If it's true, even it's not beneficial, don't do it. If it's true, beneficial, and next thing is to think is it timely. So if it's true, beneficial, wait for the right time.
Appropriate or not.
So that right speech formula can be applied to many things, even in the thoughts. When it comes in, you say, is it true? Is it beneficial for you? These thoughts, whatever that comes in, just let it go if it's not beneficial or not timely.
That's right. Good.
Other one, but when we talk about the present, I think somebody talk about the present moment, bring the mind to the present moment. It's just being in the present does not help that much, because present is everything which happens, even the past or the future is happening in the present. Absolutely, there is no past or future when you think about the present. So if you think about something in the future, it's happening in the present, or if you're worrying about something in the past, it's also happening in the present. Buddha said in the Bhaddeka Ratta Sutra, he said, Pachippena yedamma tatta tatta vipassana. So whatever that happens in the present moment, do inside anicca dukkha anatma. So Pachippena yedamma, whatever that arises in this moment, vipassana, just tatta tatta vipassati. So that's he said that's the auspicious day, auspicious moment. So it's just being present is good enough, but not good enough. But you need to see it rise, change, and pass away.
Yes, everything keeps passing away. Once it happens, once it appears, it disappears, gone. It always changes. Nothing remains the same. Even for a fraction of the second.
See, all these are these series of perceptions flowing through your mind. That's all, right? It's nothing else. It's just thoughts or perceptions, feelings.
So don't cling to anything that appears, because they are anicca, dukkha, anatta.
By the time you think is present is already in the past, right? You can't have the present. It's always the immediate past, because by the time you say it's already in the past.
The present is constantly moving.
That's so the immediate past.
What appears now is gone. It's like a conveyor belt.
Yeah. So it is the present is actually the immediate past.
Yes.
If you stand and watching the conveyor belt, things that move past you all the time. Keep moving,
Like treadmill.
Yeah.
Thank you, Bhante.
Thank you so much,
So,
Ajahn.
Thank you so much.
Teruan Sarnai.
You're welcome. Next, Kafailin from Malaysia.
Good day to you, Ajahn. I'm just listening today. Thank you.
Next, Ryan then, from Singapore.
Oh, I'm just listening in today. Thank you.
Okay. Inten from Indonesia.
Good evening, Prajan. I'm learning Prajan.
Okay, no question.
No, thank you, Prajan.
How about Diana Anjali from Canada?
Nama Budaya, Ajahn Suchart.
Yes, good to see you again.
I apologize, I had to miss the first part. I had to stop the video. Do we have time for some question?
Yes, we got plenty of time.
I was listening today. Just just this moment, I had a question about jhana. This the mindfulness, the breathing about jhana, and the panya about it's all anicca, dukkha, anatta. So when we achieve this jhana, it's also anicca and dukkha and anatta. Yes.
Yes, if you cling to it, because you cannot remain in jhana all the time. See? So when you come out of jhana and you want the mind to be in jhana again, and you cannot get back into jhana, then this can be dukkha for you.
So then, when in jhana, there's no awareness of anicca, dukkha, and anatta.
Oh no, there's nothing in jhana. To be aware, you have to teach the mind by thinking of the nature of jhana as being temporary.
But
and
only
not-
after
That's
jhana.
right. After, when you're in jhana, you don't do any thinking at all. You're just resting, like when you go to sleep. You don't do any work when you go to sleep.
So
You
there's
work,
still
you
awareness,
work
but
only when you get up.
so there's still awareness that one is in jhana, but no understanding,
No thinking, no nothing.
no thinking.
Just contentment and knowing the contentment that you're experiencing.
Also, I'm experiencing something.
Contentment, equanimity.
So jhana is equanimity.
That's right. The fourth jhana is equanimity.
So then after you come out of jhana, you can apply that. I could apply that equanimity to the vipassana practice.
Yes, for a certain period of time, because this equanimity will gradually become weakened and disappear. If you want more equanimity, you have to go back into jhana to recharge it, like a battery.
And then the access is through the anapanasati.
Yes, you use anapanasati to go back into jhana.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Like when you use jhana to help your mind to apply wisdom. Like for instance, if you are sick with cancer and your mind is always stressful, and if you want to get rid of your stress, first you need to have jhana to calm your stress. But when you come out of jhana, your stress can return because your craving, your desire for the cancer to disappear can cause you to have more stress. And so if you want to get rid of your stress, you have to study the nature of your body. And the nature of the body is temporarily changing. It changes from aging, sickness, and death. So you cannot escape sickness. You cannot escape the cancer that you have. The only way to be able to live stress-free is to accept it. And you can accept it if you have equanimity.
Mhm.
This
Because
is the
that
purpose of using wisdom and equanimity to get rid of your craving that's causing you the stress.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Well, like for myself, I experience some migraines sometimes, and sometimes well, when they last a long time, I am aware that I guess I'm lacking equanimity, so I'm lacking mindfulness, because it's the pain, that the sensation of the pain that I'm finding. It's not like a big pain, but it's like constant and it's annoying. And I find it interferes with whatever else I'm trying to do. So then I've been applying Buddha, and it's been helpful. But then, when I'm busy doing things, I'm just aware of the pain, and I'm aware that I'm not liking the pain. So then, am I still applying the right way of practicing, of applying the practice teaching, like just as I'm moving around and I'm aware of the pain, like Buddha is like what I need to do to get some detachment from it.
The mantra is mindfulness, and it can calm you, reduce your stress temporarily. When you stop reciting the mantra, your annoyance can come back. If you want your annoyance to disappear completely, you have to use wisdom and teach your mind that you cannot avoid this sinus that you have. It's part of your life. You just have to accept it. Once you accept it and have no craving for it to disappear, then the annoyance will disappear. And then the annoyance comes from your desire to get rid of your sinus, your condition.
Yes, because I find it reduces my ability to effectively, quickly finish the chores. So then I could free up some time for practice. But then this thing is making it just longer and unpleasant.
You have to see it as being anatta. You cannot force it to go away. It's like the weather.
Like the weather, yes. I made some progress actually with this weather analogy, because usually I would think about it like the next day. Oh, the situation was like the weather. But this last week, I've noticed that I thought of it much sooner. Oh, this is like the weather. And even that thought itself gave me some space and time to get that attachment a little, like get a little bit attached. I ended up with some questions in my mind. I'm like, oh, this is like the weather. So now what? How do I accept it? And because I still don't like it. But somehow it was just enough to, it was still just enough to move on.
Or you can convince yourself that it's better to like it than to dislike it.
Better to like it than dislike it.
That's all. You just change your attitude. That's all. The problem is your attitude toward that particular situation. So if you dislike and cause you annoyance, then switch it back to liking it. Then there will be no. Once you like something, then you enjoy it instead of being annoyed.
I feel like I don't know what the analogy is, but I feel like I got a little bit of movement with that application analogy. Like the train is not moving completely with anatta, but there's just like these beginnings, especially in the moments of tension, in this conversation or that conversation, in family relation, just a tiny bit, and then I find myself in reaction and awareness, and some progress was there, that I was aware enough to reduce the reaction. So that's progress.
That's right. The goal is to not react with aversion or with cravings or with attachment. Just leave things alone.
It just feels like there's just this constant attachment for everything. Like if it's just one thing, it gets replaced really quickly by another thing.
Yes, we used to live like this. We like to live with things that is nice for us. So when something not nice appears, we want to get rid of it. But sometimes we cannot do it. So we get stressed, we get anxiety. So we have to switch our way of dealing with things. Sometimes in life you get something nice, and sometimes you get things not nice. So you just have to react. Don't react to them both. Nice, let them come and go. Not nice, they also come and go.
Mm-hmm.
And you cannot decide which one to come and not which one not to come. They come because they are conditioned that cause them to come.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
So like the weather, sometimes you get the snow, sometimes you get the heat, right?
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes you get the storm,
Mm-hmm.
sometimes you get the flooding.
Mm-hmm.
Nothing you can do except just try not to be stressful by it. Just try to accept it.
Mm-hmm. Try to accept it. Yes, that's the issue.
And you need equanimity to do this successfully.
Equanimity.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So if you have equanimity, then it's easy. It's easy to accept things as they are.
Mm-hmm.
That's why we have to practice more meditation and mindfulness to get to equanimity. Then we will have the strength to let everything be alone, leave things alone, not having to change them or to manage them or anything. Let them come and go.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Last weekend at the Sri Lankan monastery that I have access to here, they had a special children's dana. So I took my daughter there. Many children were giving dana to monks, 7 monks. They call them bantes. Is a different tradition, but that's the one that is here for the access, for some dana and for some Dhamma teachings. They had their chief monk who was visiting. Kiribadgota, Venerable Kiribadgota is his name. And like 30, he gave like a little talk in English because before I never hear him before. Like maybe 10 minutes, he spoke about like 30 years ago, he created this temple, and the emphasis is on the teaching, on the reading of the Pali and teaching, because that's the word of Buddha. And for myself, I really struggle with it, to be honest. You know, just like for me is like when I hear the Dhamma talk more, not the Pali text itself or the. So I wonder what's wrong with me sometimes. Because I'm reading, and as I'm reading and trying to contemplate and understand what is being spoken of the sutta, I get sleepy. But then if I hear some Dhamma talk more from like an Ajahn like yourself, then it seems to have like a heart connection, and then I hear it inside more. Yeah.
Because if you talk Dhamma from experience, it's more lively than talking from the Pali text. The Pali text Dhamma are less lively because they are old and stale. You know.
Yeah. Okay. So it's not just me.
Yeah. Yes. It's different if you listen to Dhamma talk by meditation masters and you listen to Dhamma reading by scholars, Buddhist scholars. You just read from the text. And the
Because-
text cannot sometimes clarify your question either.
Yeah, I feel like I'm reading English, but a different language, even by some good monks that other, like the Bhikkhu Bodhi, I know he wrote some texts, and even I have some of his books, but I mean, after one page, I don't seem to have the, I don't know, access.
Connection.
Yeah, and like I feel like I'm just wasting my time, and
Yeah. I think you're inclined more to practical Dhamma than theoretical Dhamma.
okay. Yeah, because I have a whole bookshelf of like I read all the Dhamma talks by Mahabua that you translated, and as I was reading them, I was feeling like the talking was to me, so that was different. Okay.
It's more realistic when you
More
listen to
realistic.
practical Dhamma.
Okay. So I don't have to beat myself up that I can't read the Pali, understand
No need to. Unless you have no other source of information, then you might have to rely on the Pali for your information.
I really enjoy like reading it as a sound. I feel it kind of like I feel something for sure, but when I hear it in English, like I miss it somehow. Okay.
Anything else?
Just very happy, always very happy to be here. Looks like I will be able to join on Tuesday, so that's very nice. So I hope to I'll just keep right now there's only one day of 8 precepts that I can manage, so sometimes I feel kind of cranky about it because I'd like more, but I will take what I can get for now.
Yes, just do what you can.
Yeah.
Don't hurt yourself by thinking that you cannot do it.
Yeah. There's, it's the same tug of war I'm experiencing as a practicer of meditation and as a parent. I'm still figuring out this balance. Because to take my daughter for education, I need to be in the world, and then, but then to do good for myself, we need to do another thing, like going to the monastery. My daughter does really well with the precepts, but then if I'm trying to do precepts at home, she's not very happy about it. So then I end up, compromising because so we'll keep I will keep to see what else I can apply.
You have to be flexible, I guess flexible.
Okay.
Just do whatever you can.
Yeah.
And adjust accordingly.
Yeah.
Don't stick to a certain goal, and when you cannot do it, it can cause you disappointment. So sometimes you might be able to do what you set up for, sometimes you might not be able to do. So let the situation decide what you should do, how much you should do.
Okay.
All right? Okay. Where's your daughter? Is she sleeping now, or she just going to?
She's a little sick today. She's in another room, just playing. I could see if she'd like to.
No, it's okay. Just wondering.
Yeah, we'll do like another time. I know she had some interesting questions actually. One of the questions was like she was wondering if there is a bodhisattva somewhere in this world right now.
Mm-hmm. Anybody who aspires for enlightenment is a bodhisattva.
Anybody who's what?
Inspire for enlightenment. aspire for enlightenment.
Aspire for enlightenment. So should I say yes? There's a bodhisattva in this world here somewhere.
Yes, but we don't know who. That's all. Maybe you
We
are
don't-
yourself a bodhisattva and not knowing it.
Yeah, yesterday we watched. Oh, I see. Okay, because I thought bodhisattva always knew he was a bodhisattva. He
He's
had that.
someone he is someone who aspires for something good spiritually. That's what a bodhisattva is. He doesn't seek any worldly achievement. He doesn't want to be rich or famous or anything like that. But he wants to be nice and kind, having loving kindness. He likes to help people, and this sort of thing is a bodhisattva quality.
Oh, that's so nice. We watched some Jataka tale yesterday, and there was a woman, I cannot recall her name, but she got to be a Sotapanna, and then afterwards she went on to have 20 children. So then I was wondering, how does that work? Because I thought once you're Sotapanna, you lose some desire quality.
No, you have more, you're closer to full enlightenment once you become a Sotapanna. You know the path. So you can walk there by yourself without having any teacher to guide you. You don't need a Buddha anymore. You don't need the Buddha, the teaching to guide you. You got the teaching developed inside your mind.
But she didn't take the renunciating like the other stories we watched. She didn't want to become a nun.
Because she's not ready yet. Maybe because she has some other commitment that she has to keep.
Okay.
Like you have a daughter you have to raise.
Yeah.
You cannot go and become a nun now, but you can be a Sotapanna and still look after your daughter.
Oh, that's nice. I just have to practice mindfulness.
unless you can convince your daughter to ordain with you, then you both of them can go take ordination.
Oh. Yeah, that's far away for now.
Okay, but at least once you're Sotapanna, you're guaranteed Nibbana within the 7 lifetime at the maximum.
Mhm.
Okay.
But that comes with mindfulness, right? We need mindfulness.
Oh, you must have that high level of mindfulness to be able to become a Sotapanna.
You don't need a high level of mindfulness?
You already have that high level to be able to achieve Sotapanna.
Oh, okay. So
You
you
have,
already
you have
need
to have you have jhana already to become a Sotapanna. You have to have jhana. You have to have equanimity.
Okay.
And you see the Four Noble Truths. That's wisdom.
Okay.
Okay. I'll have to move forward. Go now, because we're running out of time. See you next week or next time, whenever
Yes.
you're ready. Next, Steph from Oregon. Finish your work for the morning with your sons.
Yes. I got them to school.
Okay.
I had I don't know, like a realization last week, because the boys, like when they're home, my life is very busy, and then now it's back to very peaceful during the day. And I had this kind of that feeling states are impermanent, and that if I was attaching to feeling states, I was kind of choosing suffering. And so now I've been kind of saying to myself when I start to suffer that I'm choosing suffering. And that's been kind of really helpful for me. Does that make sense?
You're the one who made the choice to suffer, not to suffer.
Yes, I'm very much seeing my own part. Yeah.
You're
in
craving,
suffering.
or you're craving for things or attachment to certain things. When you don't have it, then you feel suffering. So you have to let go of your attachment to things.
A comfort, like it's a comfort, like I want to be comfortable, and that's kind of what
By relying on a certain thing to make you comfortable. And when that certain thing no longer there, then you become uncomfortable.
So it's kind of just being okay no matter what, No
Yeah,
matter
yeah.
what you feel, you just don't attach to it. It just is what it is.
Yes,
Kind
just try to be happy with whatever you have, wherever you are. Sometimes you have to be happy with all the noise of the boys around you. Sometimes they're gone, so this is something keep changing all the time.
Yeah, I just want to say I feel Diana very much. She was saying it's hard to be a parent and like you want to be in this because the Dhamma world is where I want to be, but I'm a parent and I have to get them into the world. So it is it does feel like a parallel world that I'm like living right now. And so I wanted to speak to her on that, but yeah, it is it's hard to both be a parent and be a Dhamma practitioner like in this Western world, but it's very important and it's like, I don't know, it's my whole point of being. So
Yeah, you have to do your duty as a mother first.
yes, yeah. Okay.
But
Thank
if
you. That's all.
if you somehow can have somebody to do it for you, then you can.
But I don't want them to. I want to do it. They're my
Okay.
babies.
All right. Like the Buddha. The Buddha
Yeah.
knows someone could look after his wife and his son, so he left the palace.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, I'm a Bodhisattva for now. I'm not a Buddha yet.
Okay.
Okay.
All right.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Next, Julia. Hi, Julia from Colorado.
Hello, Ajahn.
How are you?
Fine, really. Is Ajahn well?
Pardon me? Am I
healthy?
well? Yes, I'm well. Or else I won't be here, right?
Don't know. Wow. So I guess it's almost time, but thank you for thank the admin for letting me in. I was watching on the Facebook in the beginning, so I'm happy to be a part of the Sangha. So I was gone this month because I had the opportunity to practice with some Himalayan like masters, and they have this there's like a saying, a quotation, that it's to aspire, one of the high aspirations is to be free from clinging to samsara or nirvana. And so I realized when I come back to this tradition that I love Theravada and it works so well for me. And I think that that's best for the world also. And yet I have this respect. I mean, I have so much respect and gratitude for the many different kinds of Dhamma. And so I've been thinking about that. And then I've also been thinking about this use of the word Arhat, Bodhisattva, Buddha, Sotapan, like all these, and it feels like maybe there's some misunderstanding between the different lineages. But anyway, it's so much anumodana for this practice and the teachings that Ajahn is offering. So I feel so grateful, and it's like a sense of relief. Yeah.
Yes. As long as you find the right path and then stick to it, you'll get to where you want to go. See the theory of Bodhisattva and what we call arahantship. They differ because if you happen to be born in the age where there's no Buddhism, no teaching of the Buddha around, then you just have to be a bodhisattva. You have to seek the path of enlightenment yourself. So when you seek for enlightenment, the path for enlightenment, you are a bodhisattva. But if you seek for enlightenment in the age where there's the teaching of the Buddha, then you don't have to be a bodhisattva, because you can study directly from the Buddha. So we don't call us bodhisattva when we have the teaching of the Buddha to guide us to enlightenment. We become savaka, or disciples of the Buddha. That's all. That's the difference. Whether there's a Buddha guiding you or not. If there's no Buddha to guide you, then you have to be a bodhisattva. You have to seek the path yourself. But once there's a Buddha or his teaching around, then you don't need to be a bodhisattva. You just be a disciple of the Buddha. You take up the triple gem as your refuge, as your teacher instead.
Okay, so.
And you can achieve enlightenment right in this lifetime. But if you are a bodhisattva, who knows how many more lifetimes you might have to go through before you become enlightened.
So if there are Buddhas available and one can receive the teachings,
then you don't have to look for the path yourself, right?
okay.
When there is a map and when there's no map, which one would you choose when you want to travel? It's better to have a map than not having a map, right?
Okay.
Okay. Buddhism, or the teaching of the Buddha is like a map thing.
Yeah.
But if you don't have a map, then you just have to rely on your own sense of direction.
Yeah, yeah. Huh. Okay. That's very helpful, Ajahn.
So right now, during the age of the Buddha's teaching is around, you don't need to be a bodhisattva. You be a disciple. You study the teaching of the Buddha, and you can shorten your quest for enlightenment from thousands of lifetimes to just one lifetime, this one lifetime. So that's the difference of having a Buddha as your guide or not. If you don't have a Buddha as your guide, then you have to look for the path yourself. This can take thousands of lifetimes or more, or millions of lifetimes. But once you have found the Buddha teaching or met the Buddha himself, then he can guide you to enlightenment within this lifetime. Or maybe just after listening to his Dhamma talk, you can become enlightened right away. See the difference of being a bodhisattva and of being a savaka, a disciple, a student. Savaka means student, disciple of the Buddha.
So the second way feels nice to me, but it feels pleasant. And I understand that sometimes I cling to pleasant. Will it have an effect on other beings the same?
Well, an Arahant can teach just like the Buddha can teach the path. But of course, the Buddha is the one who can start this teaching and then pass on from one generation to the next. Without the Buddha, then no one could pass this teaching to the next generation. You need somebody like the Buddha to discover the teaching first, discover the Dhamma. Once the Buddha have discovered the Dhamma, then he can then pass it on to his savaka, his disciples.
So the greatest gift would be to be a Buddha, no?
I would not say it's the greatest gift, but if you happen to be searching for enlightenment and there's no Buddha around, then you have to become a Buddha yourself. Like the Buddha, like our Buddha, when he practices, he went to study with many teachers, but those teachers cannot teach him the path to Nibbana. So he then have to find it himself. But if you have come across the Buddha or his teaching, and it tells you exactly how to get to Nibbana. So you don't need to go look for your Nibbana yourself. You just follow his teaching. So it's easier to become enlightened, to reach Nibbana with the teaching of the Buddha. Easier and shorter time. But without the teaching of the Buddha, it's going to be hard and it's going to be long before you can become enlightened, before you can reach Nibbana. But once you reach Nibbana as a Buddha, then you can help a lot of people more than you can as a Savaka, because there are other Savakas helping you do the work already. So you don't need to have to do the work like the Buddha did. So it doesn't matter how you get there. The point is to get there. It doesn't matter how you get full. Just get full by eating whatever you can come across to you. Don't wait for the next meal to get full. You can eat for this meal and get full. Don't wait for tomorrow. I'll wait for tomorrow and get full. Like somebody cook you a dish and say, eat it, or you say, no, I want to cook my own dish. I have to go buy my own food and cook my own food. It might take a long time before you can get full. But the result is the same. You become full from eating the food somebody cooked for you, or you have to go cook yourself.
Okay.
But it might take longer time for you to cook the food for yourself. Because you might have to go shop, then you have to go cook your food. It might take a longer time.
Yeah.
But if somebody bought you the food already and say, here's a meal for you.
That's perfect.
That's the
Perfect.
difference. That's the difference. Okay.
Yeah. That's just what I need to hear, those things. So hopefully this will benefit someday to all beings. And also just to sweet and check, last year they mailed me some books and I read some and I donated them to the local meditation group. A long time ago, I got rid of all my books because I lightened up everything, possessions, but I kept Beyond Birth for myself because it has Ajahn's address and schedule. Because I thought maybe someday come visit. So that was a good book. So I feel grateful to see and check also. And this whole
Okay.
summer. Yeah. Okay, Anamodami.
Okay. I think they are happy to hear you.
Cool.
Thankfulness.
Cool.
Okay. I have to move on now. Okay. Next to Belinda from Singapore. We're running out of time, so you have to be brief if you can.
Good evening, Tanajan. Yeah, Tanajan, I want to ask if you're well. And even if you're unwell, you would attend to many times.
If I'm not well, I won't be here.
Sometimes when you're unwell, like sore throat, you do participate too.
But it's still well enough to do.
I just have a stomach upset just now, and now just better. But I remember not to feel to remain when it's painful, it's accept. When it's feeling better, I'm feeling better now, and I don't have to feel happy too. So,
You don't have to be stressful from it. Just be happy with it. You can be happy with your sickness.
in this moment, I just don't feel pain, and I don't have to feel happy too.
You just have to have the right attitude toward things that happen to you. If you have the right attitude, you can be happy with whatever happens to you.
Ajahn, I will have a quick question that I have since quite many weeks. This question has been at the back of my mind. It's about impulse. I have a friend who called me reached out. I think his co-worker committed suicide, and before the co-worker committed suicide, that person left him a suicide letter via email, and was full of resentment towards him. And this happened 2 years ago. So this friend of mine he's still feeling distress, feeling guilt. Yeah, I don't know, I've been exposed to environment where people also like threaten to commit suicide, and also there are suicide cases. So basically, it's about impulse. So I just wonder, like, what advice Ajahn could give us as to how.
Just accept things as they are. If people dislike you, let them dislike you. That's all. What can you do? If they don't want to kill themselves because of their dislike, that's their business, not your problem. If they want to blame you for it, that's their business. Yeah, as long as you didn't do anything to hurt or harm them, then you shouldn't worry about it.
But I'm not too sure because I think my co-worker, my friend, this is the co-worker, and this co-worker who committed suicide, he felt that it was caused by my friend.
Well, you have to have intention to hurt them, see, before you can be blamed for it. But if you do something without intention and just happen to make them dislike, then that's the business.
But so for my friend, he feels very guilty. He feels very guilty.
Well, he doesn't have to, but he wants to be guilty. That's his business also.
I think I have people who around me who threaten to commit suicide too.
That's their business. They can do anything they want. They're like the weather. Leave them alone. If they want to live, let them live. If they want to die, let them die. It's not your business. Your business is to keep your mind free from stress, anxiety, and suffering by leaving everything alone. Right? That's your business. Your business is to look after yourself, to make that you are stress-free, regardless of whatever happens by other people. Whether they say good thing about you or say bad thing about you, you can stop them.
Okay, so then there's this like the impulse to help people. I have this tendency, like it's sort of like a reflex to help.
It's good to help other people, but you have to look whether you can actually do it or not. The thought of helping people doesn't help other people. It's the action that counts. And you have to look at your action, whether your action can actually help people or not. If it doesn't help or hurt other people, then you shouldn't do anything. Okay?
Anyway, human life is precious, so we do what we can to help. So I think I know what to tell my friend, but he did attempt to help, but it was just too late. Yeah.
Okay.
Thank you, Ajahn. Thank you.
If you can help, do it. If you cannot help, then don't do it. That's all.
And then I think we just have to accept.
That's right.
Yes.
Accept the truth. Okay. Next, B from Bangkok. B, Ravin.
Hi, Prachan. I'm sorry I'm a bit late today. I'll be very brief given that we are running over time. Prachan, is chanting necessary to develop wisdom? If I meditate and I can get mindfulness, do I need to chant or it's not necessary?
No, the chanting is a way of developing mindfulness, really. It's like reciting Bhutto, Bhutto. Instead of Bhutto, you chant, do the chanting.
so the different verses of chanting that chant for metta, for forgiveness, that's not necessary to
Not
develop
necessary.
wisdom.
It's just for, well, if you understand the text, then you can get wisdom from that. You can get knowledge and understanding if you can understand, because most of the chanting are the teaching of the Buddha. So if you can understand the Metta Sutta chanting, it means teaches you how to practice loving kindness, to forgive, to help other people, to make other people happy. This is the way to have mindfulness. I mean, having loving kindness. So if you can understand the meaning of the text that you chant, you can get wisdom, you can get knowledge from it. But if you just want to use it as a method of developing mindfulness, to keep your mind from thinking about other things, then you don't need to understand the text. But if you can use mindfulness without chanting, then you don't need to do any chanting. If you can watch your breath, if you can recite a mantra, then you don't need to do any chanting. You can meditate right away.
All right. Thank you, Prajan, for your advice.
Okay. I'll go to Sulan. Hi, Sulan. How are you, Sue? Always the last to come in.
Yeah. Hello, Ajahn. I'm well. Yeah. I hope that you are well too.
Yes, I'm okay. Thank you.
Yeah. I also want to update Ajahn that I listened to your advice about trying to adapt to my new place. Yeah. Then I think it helps to change my mindset. Then I feel less aversion. Then I have a question to ask today. Yeah, it's kind of a bit different from Belinda's question. So like my question is that like when someone tell me to do ABCD, and I tell the person that I cannot do ABCD because of various reasons, then I'm unable to complete ABCD. Then the person tells me that, this is your business, not my problem. So then it kind of makes me very upset that the person is not compassionate or caring enough. Then despite I continue to try my best to complete the ABCD, but it's with a lot of aversions. Then it just creates a lot of mental suffering to try and So I want to ask Ajahn, like, what's your advice?
Regarding what?
Like how to deal with the aversion that arises, when people tell me that, this is your problem, not my problem.
Your problem is trying to get a good answer or answer that you like to hear. And when you don't get the answer that you like to hear, you become unhappy. So you must not expect any answer that will make you happy, because sometimes you don't get that answer.
Oh, so I shouldn't like expect the person to be compassionate.
That's right. You don't expect anything from that person at all. Then you won't be disappointed or sad. It's your expectation that causes you the sadness.
Oh, okay. Then
right? If you don't expect the person to be nice to you, then when he or she doesn't nice to you, then you don't feel bad, because you are more or less expecting that to happen, right?
Oh, that's a quite a pathetic way to expect from the person.
Yeah. Because you cannot predict what the person will do to you. Sometimes they can be nice to you, sometimes they can be bad to you.
Oh, okay. This is the same for everyone, right?
Everyone, like a stranger you meet on a train, you don't know that stranger whether it's gonna be nice or bad to you, do you? So you don't expect anything from the stranger.
Oh, then does it means that, because we can't expect whether they can be nice or bad to us, then you have to always be on our guard against the person.
That's right. You have to be mindful.
Then it's like you cannot trust the person like that.
Until you can prove that they can be trusted. If you cannot prove that they can be trusted, then you cannot trust anybody.
Oh.
If you don't want to be disappointed.
Oh. Yeah, then we can only trust the triple gems, right? Like trust Ajahn, trust.
Or you can trust someone and at least not expecting them to be completely trustful. Then it's okay. You can trust this person, but you can also expect that maybe he won't be doing what you expect him to do for you either. So you won't be sad.
Okay.
Because sometimes we live in a world in which we have to trust people, but we at the same time we also have to be distrustful at the same time. Be ready to accept whichever consequence you might come across.
Oh, okay. Then I think I will need to try to digest this. Yeah. Because it seems like quite a hard thing to do. Like you have to trust but not trust.
Because nothing remains the same. So everything is anicca, changing. You can trust me, but I can change, and I won't be something that you expect me to be. Then you become disappointed.
Oh.
Can you guarantee that everybody will remain the same all the time? The same person always remain nice all the time? You cannot, right?
Yeah, I cannot.
Okay.
Okay. Yes, very valid. Yeah.
So if you don't want to have any disappointment, then just don't expect anything from anybody. That's all. Then you don't worry about trusting them or not. When you don't expect anything from them, then you don't worry about having to trust them or not.
Yeah. Okay. Then and also we shouldn't like quarrel with them, right?
Right. Shouldn't have any interaction with them at all.
Oh.
Reduce interaction with other people to zero, then there'll be no zero problem.
Yes, zero problems. That would be ideal. Yeah.
As soon as you interact with people, there will be problems sooner or later.
Yes.
So let's come back to your own expectation, really. That's all. Don't expect anything from anybody, then there will be no problem. Take things as they come, good or bad.
Okay. Take things as they come, good or bad. Okay. I will try to remember what you say.
Okay.
Okay.
I think we're running out of time now.
Yeah. Sadhu.
Okay. More questions from Kunjuk. Please go ahead.
Namaskarท่านอาจารย์ค่ะ. We have 4 questions this evening. The first question is from Metta Vandana from the United States. I came across Sapasava Sutta from Majjhimaya Nikaya that I'm curious about. Ajahns comments on facing a tiger or live in uncomfortable places to check our attachments for the body. In the sutta, the Buddha said to avoid those things. Can Ajahn please provide clarification on this? Thank you.
Well, under normal circumstances, you want to stay away from anything that can threaten your existence, right? But when you want to find out whether you have let go of your attachment to your body or not, then you might have to expose yourself to some form of danger, some risk, to see how you would react to under such circumstances. But I wouldn't say that you have to go and meet the tiger in the cage one-on-one, But you might go live in the forest there, which there might be some tiger roaming around, but you don't actually see them yet. So that when you hear the sound rolling, and you can look at yourself, how do you react to the situation, whether you can still remain calm and undisturbed or not. So this is what you want to find out, whether the wisdom that you have developed is real or not, whether you can actually let go of your attachment to your body, whether you see the body is not being yourself or not. And you need to find something to test your wisdom. But normally, don't go live near anything that's dangerous to you.
The next question is from Assistant Gmail, and it's from Keng Hui Si. How do we do Putto meditation? Do I chant the words silently, loudly, fast, or slow tempo? Or do I focus on the breath with the word Putto and also visualize the image of the Buddha?
No, you just recite the word Bhutto only. Don't worry about watching the breath or visualizing the image of the Buddha. Just stick to the word Bhutto, 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 and you do it silently, mentally. You can do it fast or slow. That's up to you. You can choose.
The next question is from Praveen from India, and it's from Facebook. What is mundane and super mundane consciousness?
Well, mundane means people who hasn't yet reached the enlightenment level. And once you start to become enlightened, you have entered into the supramundane level.
And does consciousness still exist in an arahant, or is it totally eradicated?
Well, I really don't want to answer an arahant question. It's better for you to find out for yourself by becoming an arahant better.
And the last question is from Aun from Penang, Malaysia. Can Ajahn please explain why the Buddha said his teaching is the ultimate truth and not conventional truth?
Well, conventional truth is something that can change from time to time, but absolute truth remains the same all the time. Like the Four Noble Truths, it doesn't change with the time. But the truth of the conventional truth, like we have different I cannot think of the word, but the conventional truth, like how we deal with people, changes from the popular belief. Sometimes we treat people the same. Sometimes we don't treat people the same. It just depends on how we've been given the information. But with the absolute truth, is unchanging regardless of whether it is now or 1 million years from now. The absolute truth will always remain the same. Like the Four Noble Truths will always remain the same.
That is all, Ka.
Okay. I might not be able to explain the conventional truth because the conventional truth means something that we hold to be true today might not be true tomorrow. Like in the ancient time, people believed the world is flat, for instance. But now it's been proven that it's not flat anymore, it's round. So this is what we call conventional truth. Okay, I hope maybe this will clarify. Okay, I think we run out of time, but it's an interesting meeting. We have shared a lot of information, and I hope this will help you understand better the teaching of the Buddha and help you practice better. In the meantime, please stay safe, stay mindful, and keep on practicing. And if all goes well, I'll see you all at the same time next week. Thank you and goodbye.
Thank you, Ajahn.
Thank you, Ajahn.
Thanks, Amy.
Thank you,
Thanks,
Ajahn.
Amy.
Good night, everyone.
Everyone. Goodbye.